want you to know that 20% of our teachers leave this district because they cannot afford to live in Denver. That is higher.
Also, according to DPS, a third of their teachers are on their first year teaching in DPS, which means after their first year they don't get paid enough and they leave our district.
And finally, our teachers are forced to work second jobs because they work more hours but make less than almost any other profession in this state.
These are the facts that DPS doesn't want you to know. DPS wants to put blinders over the eyes of students, parents, and community members. They want to pretend like our teachers are striking out of greed and selfishness. But we refuse to be blind. We refuse to accept ignorance.
Teaching is the most selfless profession that a person can take on. Teachers spend countless hours in and out of the classroom making sure that their students are given equal opportunity to become successful.
We must remember that the teachers did not want to strike. Of course they didn't want to give up the little money they make now. Of course they didn't want to lose valuable time with their students. DPS wants us to think that the DCTA made a choice, but there was no choice. The district has forced teachers into unlivable wages and has refused to give them what they both need and deserve. DPS makes the claim that they put their students first, but that can never be true when they put their teachers last.
By walking out of school today, we are standing up to DPS. We will not become pawns in their political game. We are standing here right now to prove that we as a student body give our complete and unwavering support to our teachers. We are here for them because we couldn't be here without them. We now want to bring out a few students to share their stories about their teachers and why they personally showed up this morning. First, we want to bring up Rachel Norris.
Teachers are responsible for providing the world with a future. From your doctors and lawyers to engineers and politicians. What? Oh. Each one of them will have spent years of their lives in the classroom with a teacher. So why is it that the people in charge of preparing the next generation are hardly able to support themselves? The job of a teacher goes beyond providing a good or a service. They connect with students to provide them with resources they need to advance in their lives. But despite the endless hours spent both in and out of the classroom, DPS does not value their teachers. No full-time professional with advanced degrees should have to worry about living paycheck to paycheck or getting a second and third job. Every teacher that I have encountered in my 13 years as a DPS student has made a profound impact on my life. However, only a handful of them remain in the district. DPS has one of the lowest retention rates within the state of Colorado, largely due to the fact that teachers cannot afford to live where they teach. As the cost of living in Denver increases, along with the cost of higher education, fewer people will be able to teach in DPS, and fewer people will be able to teach at all. As a future educator, this scares me. I dream of giving DPS students the same opportunities and experiences that I have had, but it won't be possible if we can't maintain the same caliber of teachers. So I'm here today to say one thing. Support your teachers and fight for your education.
Buenos días, todos! How we feel today? How we feel today? Can I get a hurry up? Yeah, cool, that's right. Buenos días, me llamo Esperanza Soledad Garcia, soy de Nuevo Mexico, and I want to share a poem with you all. Once again, my name is Esperanza Soledad Garcia, and I want to share a poem with you all. This is a poem called An Ode to Teachers by Stacey Lee. On the first day of my senior year, my English teacher drew a line on the whiteboard. She said, "This is your life, birth to death." She added breaks and labels, materializing a timeline of productivity and life events. Kinetic purpose dancing the horizon. Before that day, I imagined my timeline: survival, college, stage, a real job. And if my prayers were answered, some worthwhile adventure past the horizon. My teacher took me to the other side of that distance and made me wonder if my future self needed any help. I suddenly heard decisions ringing through the ages, teleporting me to this stage. I suddenly heard decisions See, the best dreams aren't made to be nearly had. They're lovers you make real in the 10 dimensions. They ought to bond the wombs of others and feed the community's bottomless stomach before they give you scraps. So call this poem an ode to teachers, honoring the heroes responsible for the success of everyone, studying and becoming everything. Licensed parents who hundreds of kids for the love of aching growth, who drain their wallets for basic classroom supplies, who glue stick their pocket crumbs as snacks for the ones that come hungry. I wondered how public school educators gave so much of themselves and had nothing left over. I watched Mr. Nalty become Atlas, shouldering classrooms, poetry club, theater department, crumbling like ancient monuments, carrying all the art she had. Teaching is the most intimate surrender to let dreams move through younger years. Trust in schools died with the first standardized test, and these minds are all that are left. Isn't teaching a militant optimism, waging war on administrators who would kill for a test score, wrestling students chronically sold short, and leaving mental health on the front lines? This career is a losing battle. This ink is red for a reason. A budget slash decapitates an art program, and a dream withers in a garden. Betsy DeVos bares her fangs, all white picket privatized fences, and the monsters of a school closing lumbers down the block. Titan feasting on his comrades and dead bodies. When my first mentor tells me she plans to change professions, I understand. I cannot blame her, even as I panic. Instead, my adrenaline sister remembers Miss Campbell, who assigned so many essays. My right hand hurt as she spoke. A touching stage is to become adrenaline. She taught me how to write an argument so airtight that breath forgets the audience and fear forgets me. Maybe all teachers just want an ageless legacy to ring through the years and crown their souls